This video is a chance for you to join along with me as I tour the Coblentz family's dairy in northeastern Oklahoma. I was out there this summer as I visited with friends at Midwest Dairy who are sponsoring this content. They were able to arrange tours of two different families' dairy operations so we could see how different farmers do different things, and all of them end up contributing to the dairy products in the case. So we're going to start off with the Coblentz family, and then there's another video about Logan Courtney and his dairy farm. Hope you watch them both, and let me know what you think when you compare and contrast.
I was raised poor. I can remember having a tow sack tied around my neck with a string and took me to the cotton fields to pick cotton for a penny and half a pound when I was 5 years old, and I got my money. This is, we just didn't have anything. I mean, it was a hard way to grow up. I milked cows when I was 13, 14 years old for my aunt and uncle over here, which I can see the barn from here, a couple miles over, for $1.25 a milking. And so I milked 6 evenings, got $7.50, and I bought baby calves, and I started raising heifers and started my first cows calving in April of '72. So I've been milking here for over 50 years for myself. And I have 3 sons that are here. I guess they're hiding from me today. They're gonna make me do all the talking. The operation, my mother and dad bought this place in 1947. Like I said, built the barn, the old barn there before I was ever born. I sold milk in 10-gallon cans. Today we sell by the tanker loads, so it's just been one thing, one step, 1 acre at a time. And we have several thousand acres we own, plus we have several thousand acres we lease. So we go 35 miles to the northwest and 26 miles to the southeast here. So we branched out in every direction. We have a lot of beef cattle, farm, raise our own feed mainly. We try to buy very little, but we do end up buying soybean meal, things like that. The herd originally was always Holstein. I started using Jersey for crosses, got up to about 100, 250 head in this herd, and they're just like little kids, and I'm getting old. I didn't want to deal with it, so I started going back to all Holstein. I have very few crosses in the herd anymore. For the last 5 or 6 years, I've sold to heifers and using Holsteins only, and so it's changed the herd again. They open gates on you. Those Jerseys will open a gate, they'll take a chain and lick it or eat it on it until they get it open and come walk up to you. I don't need 400 kids out here. They're a different animal. I mean, they're even a cross with a Holstein. You touch them, they'll jump. Where a Holstein just never does anything. But they're more apt to bump you or hit you quicker. And this is the facility. We turn these over. We attach the milkers to the gals. This barn, it will 30 on each side. This is the big parlor. I mean, you can move a lot of cows through here. So the first cow, she puts her shoulder in there. I want you to watch this. She turns this just right here. And then the next cow will come in and put her shoulder and she'll turn it. One of these has to be between each cow ever milking, or as they come in to milk. Yeah, they're on springs. So a cow comes in and turns, the next one comes in and turns, and then start filling the barn. You come up here and you wipe their quarters off, and then you spray them. This is a food grade iodine. You just come up here and then after about 2 minutes, you dry this off and attach the milker. And then after they're done, you come back and spray this on to keep any bacteria from getting into the teats.
The iodine will use it to clean the quarters, clean the udder, and before, and at the end, we will spray it to prevent pesticides.
So the milk you pull today, does it go out tomorrow?
Goes out every day. Right now it goes out every day. We're supposed to have enough tank to store 2 days worth of milk, and we do. But then there have to be 2 different semis coming every other day.
Oh, well, I was going to talk. It's grooved because the cow can be like an elephant on ice. You don't want them to go down or spread out. So we groove this floor to keep them. So they do slip, they catch, and they can get back up and they go down. This is why it's grooved all the way up through here. Everything is grooved where they stand. You don't want them down. We have a herd health check on the second Thursday of every month. I have a vet within 2.5 miles of here I can text him at 5 something in the morning.
Don't advertise that.
Yeah.
Don't advertise
He
that.
doesn't want to know.
He's already busy enough, but no, we have
He's our friend.
he's a friend of the neighbor,
But
and
before he goes to the office in Wagner, which are connected between Pryor and Wagner, those offices are the same. He'll come in here and my cows get checked a whole lot more often than I get checked for anything. I can tell you that.
So 3,000 gallons of milk leaving every day. It's tested for antibiotics. If we have to treat a cow with some sort of antibiotic, and we mess up and it gets in the milk, we lose all of our milk plus what else is on the semi. So we cannot let any antibiotics get in the milk.
at the same time, when we talk about antibiotics, if we don't use antibiotics, I mean, that cow is suffering. I mean, it has a bad fever. It's her health, is what it comes down to. If she's not healthy, she's not producing, and then we have to cull her. So it's really as needed. And then also, we'll show you the milk. The hoses are pulled off the pipeline and put in its own container, and it's a completely separate system at that. So basically, no antibiotic treated milk is hitting the pipeline ever.
The ideal temperature for a milk cow is 43 degrees. Is that right,
We're
Stacy?
72 and milk cows are 43.
Yeah, it's the ideal temperature. So
Their rumen, their stomach, it can be like a furnace. So when it does get really cold, they eat more, and the way that ruminant works, it creates heat. So, I mean, when it's really cold out, the more they eat, the warmer they'll be.
well, he tells me I have a mental disorder every day, that I work 7 days a week for the same money you did 40 years ago. We went 7 years basically.
Family curse. All the family curse.
All the Coblentz is always milk. Even my aunt and uncles from the, everybody, even on my mother's side, they milk. So it's been I'm the last of the Mohicans. There's nobody left that's milking with the last name of Coblentz around here. Mohicans. The Mohicans all over.
When you ask what else is driving us, so there are aspects of being outside, taking care of cattle, raising crops that are great. But at the same time, like he was alluding to, and I mean, we are a business. If we don't make money, we don't exist. And we went basically 7 years of not really making good money. The last time, January of 15, milk tanked, and then basically stayed down till just recently in this last, 6 months.
Yeah. Late December, January started going up, and it's
there's a lot of other aspects of raising a family here, and there's a lot of great things as far as being in rural and community and things like that come with it.
I'm not easy to work for. I'm an a-hole some
The
days.
part of COVID was they stopped his meetings. He was here a lot.
But at the same time, we can laugh about some of these things. It's good, but there's other dairy farms that only dairy through the last 7 years, and it's really hard to say, hey, how about you get up before dark, work all day, and you're going to lose money. I mean, it's really a punch in the gut. And those guys that only dairy, they've had it rough. I mean, we have a lot of other things. We grow a lot of other crops, and we raise a lot of beef cattle. And we do a lot of other things that have helped support that time. So
We're diversified in a big sense
So
compared to a lot of people.
I feel really bad for some of these other dairy farms. I'm glad they've made it through some of them, and hopefully they can make enough money now, for the next step or whatever they're doing. But it was tough.
No, yeah, he does, but he's not gonna bite you. No, here. You want
How old is
10 days.
Oh, let me get the picture.
Oh, he's
He's trying to suck your thumb.
yeah, he is.
Aw.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we have a nutritionist that makes up our ration. So also another thing, if we deviate, if the ration changes, daily, it throws them off. They like a very consistent diet. So basically, that's one reason why everything's cut and mixed together to take out the imperfection. One bale of hay, sometimes where it's baled up in the field, could be different than the other side of the field. So that alone can affect how they milk.
It was really clear to all of us on the tour how much the Coblentz family put thought and effort and study into the various things they are doing in terms of animal care and cow comfort, nutrition, all those kind of pieces. But we hopped right back on the tractor and we're headed out to see our second farm. You're going to want to check out that video too, where Logan Courtney shows us around his farm, because there are a lot of differences and some similarities. Thanks for checking out our videos. We'd love for you to subscribe, watch some more videos, follow our podcast in general. I'm your host, Janice Spurson.